right. Well, welcome to Money and Meaning, Kinder Institute of Life Planning's blog, where we tell the stories of registered life planners from around the globe. I'm Lora Woodward, Communications Director, and this is our I'm a Registered Life Planner series. I'm thrilled to be joined today by Jos Drees, Financial Life Planner with Drees Life Services in Limburg, Belgium. Welcome, Jos.
Thank you, Laura. I'm super excited to be here.
Oh, I'm so glad. So in preparation for our time together, I was speaking with George Kinder, and he is such a big fan of you. And I know you've known each other since what, like 2008,
Exactly.
when you attended that first EVOKE course in the UK. What do you remember of that training?
Well, actually, that I was blown away and sucked in at the same time. You know, it's an incredible experience, and it gives you tools to help your clients, but it certainly gives me tools to work on my own life. And that was kind of the surprising part of it.
Yeah.
You expect doing a course, getting better at helping other people, and that actually is an objective, and that actually also happens, but you do not expect to have it such an impact on your own personal life as an advisor.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's big. That's really big.
Yeah, it is. And I'm so curious, how did you even find out about the Kinder Institute's trainings? Like, what drew you to actually signing up for that course?
Well, the things I'm going to tell you now are going to tell you more about my age right now. But in 2008, I was 44. And I imagined, okay, I'm halfway, probably somewhere halfway my professional career. And I really wondered, what am I going to do in the second half? Am I just going to do a copy paste of the first half, in the second half, hope for the best and keep going on, as I was a purely financial salesperson? And then I said to myself, there's got to be more to it. There's got to be more to it than clients only expecting from you to bring the best products that bring you the most profits at the cheapest prices. There had to be more. And then I looked at I think I got it through Facebook or something like that, an ad for a 2-day seminar with George Kinder. And I inscribed. And the 2-day afterwards, so the 2-day was actually in February 2008. That was in Holland. And being a Belgian chap, I was very much surprised by the heading of the advertisement. It was saying, meet 1,500 other financial planners. You know, the word financial planner in Belgium, I think it still had to be born one way or another. And I saw there was a community in Holland, 1,500 people going into a 2-day event. I said, I gotta get over there. So I took out a ticket to go there. And 30 minutes after I bought the ticket, I got an email, Mr. Drees, we are doing a fantastic event 2 days in advance with a chap from Boston, Massachusetts, called George Kinder. I said, okay. And so I got in there. So I was 4 days in Holland, and that was February 2008. Yeah. And then in September 2008, I did my 5-day in the UK. Tremendous, really fantastic. As I said, it was far more about me also than it was about the skills. The skills are magnificent. You know, I've taken many courses since with several trainers when it comes to training financial planners, several institutes, and they all take it for granted that you know how to listen to clients. And then I see those, so on other courses, I see those people trying to do their best to listen, but actually they don't. Because they have been trained, I was trained for 20 years to talk, sell, and propose solutions. And that's not what life planning is about, is it?
No.
It's about listening, genuinely listening, inspiring people to take up the dreams that they've put some at a certain time, a certain place, a certain moment in time, they put that behind themselves. They lost track of their dreams and they fall into the daily regularity. It's like a little chain that at the beginning is not heavy to carry, and at the end you cannot get rid of the chains. They really draw you down. And that was for me the most impressive thing, that you learned to sit there with a client, really listen and help them get inspired again, and let them work out the solutions and let them work out the obstacles and what they can do about it themselves and how they should continue. And we are only there with our love for the people to help them realize their ideal life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love what you just shared, because the client is the expert, that they know their obstacles, but they also know their solutions. Yes. And just by providing that space and that quality listening that we train advisors in, that all of those hidden treasures come out, all of those longings and desires come out from the client, and they really start to move on this stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
So you became the first registered life planner in Belgium.
Yes.
Well, that's incredible. So what does life planning mean to you?
So the second half of my career that I'm in now brings so much more satisfaction. Mm. It brings me personal satisfaction as I see people move along in their lives in the direction that they really want to go into, and no longer in a direction that other people want them to go to. And then when it comes to my own life, I remember at the 5-day that I was embarrassed putting on the paper how many hours a day I was, how many hours in the week I was available for my clients. You know, okay, you put in yellow when you're available for your clients, in orange when you sleep, and in green when you are available for your friends, your family. Mm-hmm. And I must say it was kind of orange and yellow. And I remember people looking at my daily week, and they say, Jos, how do you cope? Yeah. And I wondered, I said, yes, how do I cope? So if I would have to redraw that thing now, you've got clear green places in the weekly agenda where there is time for relaxation, for friends, for my family, being the father I want to be, being the husband I want to be. I know now that I really have to give it place and time, mm-hmm. and it brings then huge satisfaction, Laura.
Yeah. How has having that balance of being able to dedicate time to your family and your friends and yourself also allowed you to show up perhaps differently for your clients?
Oh, definitely. Yes, definitely. I remember actually one of my very first clients that I did the complete life planning project with, that very hardworking man, but man and woman both were dentists, still are dentists, very hardworking, and they had like 8 chairs in a huge dentist's office. They were working with several dentists. And of course, when you start on your own and then you have 8 chairs, you're no longer a dentist, you're also the human resources manager, you're also the COO. So you've got all kind of tasks to do. And so the husband was doing all of these tasks while his passion was in being a dentist.
Yeah.
And he just had to be given permission. It felt like that. He had to be given permission by me to hire an office manager to do all of the stuff that he didn't want to do. And if I look at his life now, he's taking off half weeks, 4 or 5 times a year that he flies to Spain or wherever with his wife. Family holidays are regularly booked in. They do city trips, and he actually has now 4 dentist practices with 30 chairs operational right now, and he lives far more the life of his dreams right now than he did so many years ago.
Wow.
And his financial results are, I would love to have his financial results. They're fantastic. And he loves being the father he wants to be.
Yeah.
And if we have conversations, they very often, certainly the wife very often refers to those special questions that I asked when we did the very first meeting. You know, asking Jesus, yeah, if I would actually die tonight, what would I have missed?
Mm-hmm.
That was such a transforming question.
Yeah.
The answer was transforming. They knew they had to really go for it. How could you, if you have the possibility to change all of that, to not be, if you would have come to pass away, not having to regret because you did all the things you wanted to do, you were the person you were able to be. That they really got that. And that's also when it comes to rewarding, the super rewarding aspect of being a life planner.
Yeah, absolutely. That is a fantastic story. Thank you so much for sharing with us. Really, that's a client success story, but it doesn't, it's not just successful for them. Like you said, it's rewarding for you to have had a hand in that.
Exactly.
And you also demonstrated the energy that comes out of clients answering the 3 questions. That 3rd question is so impactful, because when you ask, you know, what did you miss? Who did you not get to be? What did you not get to do? It causes people, that's really hard hitting. And it can cause most people to really move on the things that they long for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. But on the other hand, I'm also sure that those questions really motivate some kind of advisors to come and get trained by the Kinder Institute, and others definitely don't want to go there. They definitely don't want to be involved in people's emotions. Listen, Laura, we're not going to stir up emotions. We're not going to see people cry out of joy or out of fear or whatever. No, we don't. We just sell financial solutions, product, the product of the month, the product of the week. I guess it's not only in Belgium, it's wherever in the world. Although the financial industry is huge and big and very old, where financial life planning is still a very young science, so to speak, and a very young methodology. So we are still, if you don't look, if you're not completely aware of it, you easily, as a client, get blown away just by financial products instead of, let's look at your ideal life and make sure that all the financials that are in your possession are really there to help you live that life that you long for so desperately. So that's what really motivates me to go there. Some financial product companies do not like me anymore because of that. You know, they have their every 3 months they have a new big action, big sales on this or that. They already know. They don't have to inform me about their sales, about their promotions, because if I offer products of a certain kind to a client, it is because that product actually solves a problem that exists.
Yeah.
And that's the only reason why I would put financial product A, B, or C in somebody's portfolio, because it makes sure that the complete portfolio gives the oil to the engine, to get the engine going smoothly and without any problem.
Yeah. And that's exactly it. You took the time to find out what the clients needed. And then, of course, you have different solutions that are supporting it, but you took the time to actually get to know what it is, what their fulfilled life would look like.
Yeah.
And it sounds like in Belgium that is not the norm, and that it takes a lot of bravery and courage to do what you're doing, to change the paradigm.
Yeah, but that's I guess it's because it comes from the heart.
Yeah.
And if you would tell and really explain advisors with the good heart, with the right soul in them, they would all love to be trained by the Kinder Institute. I'm absolutely sure. So as it was, you know, it's never luck in my idea. You know, I was wondering in 2008 what to do in the second half of my career, and it crossed my path. I believe that that was not a coincidence. I believe that it was not a coincidence. It had to cross my path, and yeah, of course, I had to go down the path and follow it and keep sticking to it, because it's also difficult, you know. The superb thing about the Kinder Institute training is you get really sure as an advisor, you know for sure that you can help and you know how to listen. But what do other training companies do? They suggest, they think you can listen, and then they roll out the advisor methodology on how to build your own advisor company. There is nothing wrong with getting guided in how to work out your company, and that's good. But it starts from, you know how to listen to a client. Well, actually, I would guess that 80% of the people don't know how to listen. We far too much trained to say, oh yeah, I've been there too. Yeah, one day, you know, no, please shut up and say anything more you'd like to add to that. Bring so much more. And then after 1 hour or 2 hours, people say, it's so nice talking with you. And then I wonder, gee, I thought I only listened. And I actually did. But they felt talked to, and they had a conversation they probably never had before.
Yeah. Wow.
That's where it comes in. That's where Kinder Institute for me is top of the range.
Yeah.
Really.
Thank you. Yeah. And I know that, so 2008, you started your life planning journey. 2009, you became a registered life planner. And you have continued your education by attending, I would say, the most life planning mastery courses that we've offered out of any registered life planner on the planet. So what has caused you to keep coming back and wanting to continue to sharpen your saw?
I like the word sharpening your saw, but we're not using a saw, of course. But that's what actually is behind it. As you said, I'm at that moment for sure, I'm the only one in Belgium. being a RLP. All the people that are RLPs right now, I know personally, or I had conversations with, I met, because I don't have, I meet, how many are we now? 5 or 4 in whole of Belgium. And some of the, there are super ladies out there working as as RLPs, but they don't offer the financial solutions. They only go down the path of the coaching and the training, the EVOKE process. And then what I love about the fact is we do the EVOKE and we fill in also all the financial aspects that come with it to make sure that all the financial things are really a positive extra thing to the plan. And I don't send them out to any broker who will sell them again a product of the month or a product of the week. So what did I notice then? And I remember the mastery classes. As you know, George really loves being in London and he loves Amsterdam. So at the beginning, because there was already quite a huge RLP community in Holland, they said, okay, we're going to do one RLP, one mastery class in London, the next one in Amsterdam. London, Amsterdam, London, Amsterdam. I guess at the first mastery class, we were like 5 people. And three Brits, 1 Belgian chap, me and 1 Dutch chap. George were there and Louis was there. And yeah, very soon it was quite obvious that there was far more traffic coming from the UK during the mastery classes. So at a certain moment we just started doing it in London. And I must say, I loved the crowds coming in. You know, people who became RLPs since 2009 until today. So in the very beginning, and they came doing the mastery classes. I loved we are all like the same, we have the same spirit. That's why you do the Kinder Institute training, because you're of the same kind. Yeah. And so I loved seeing people. I remember when I got my RLP out of George's hands in London, that was at the table there was sitting Tina Weeks, who was getting for the very first time getting some ideas about what Kinder Institute was and financial life planning was. So you see lots of people coming in, and it was never a punishment for me as a Belgian taking the Eurostar in Brussels and going to London for a mastery class. I did that with lots of pleasure 4 times a year. I usually went for 3 days, the day before and stayed the day after. And every time again, you learn so much because it's deepening and it's super practical. And we work a lot just with 2 people or with 3 or with 4 people in little groups. And you learn so much from each other. Everybody talks from his practice. So it's like being in a boiler room where you get lots of practical stuff from other people and you get to share it. And that's something that in many industries you don't do either. You know, when you're a financial salesperson, you've got your little strategies and your idea about how to sell what to who. But sharing it open and in all openness with other advisors, and that's what's happening in the mastery classes. Not to speak of the fact that George and Louis always prepare those classes superbly. I think there are many parts that different parts in a day of mastery class, and it's practical. And there is also some theoretical stuff. We go over new findings. It's actually through the Kinder Institute that I got to know about a chap like Simon Sinek, which is also cute to know and know how about his approaches. You know, going to the why. We also go to the why of clients. So he has this. So it's transforming doing the mastery classes. So that's why I gladly kept coming and kept coming and kept coming.
Wow. Well, we can't wait to continue to hold mastery classes in the UK in person once we get through this pandemic. We're glad that you're showing up for our online sessions, but we can't wait to make them in person again.
The very first one, I'll be there.
Wonderful. So you've mentioned a few times how going through these trainings actually impacts your own personal life. Yeah. So I'm curious, what's next in your personal life planning journey?
I guess that I'm like another person right now than I was in 2008 when it comes to happiness in life, feeling, getting up in the morning, really, Laura, getting up every morning with such a smile and going for it, you know, doing the tasks of the day, speaking to clients, making sure that the company grows. And some way, actually, that microbe has been passed on to my son, who is now in his very last year of studying finances and insurances, a degree that you need to have in Belgium to start doing what I'm doing. And so when you say, what's your next step here? I guess being the coach / partner / father to my son, we only have one child, to my son, bringing him to a 2-day and a 5-day and making him also really taking the bath of the kinder methodology. He already knows a lot about it, of course, because he hears me speak about it, but getting him, a young chap, 22 years old, getting him involved in life planning. I wish I had known life planning when I was 22. Oh my God, my life would have been definitely so different. So I want to give him that edge, that extra positive thing compared to other people in the market. And at the same time, then daddy and mommy can probably take a week more off in the year and stuff. And he actually has typical, I expect for a 22-year-old, he actually has expansion plans. He really wants to grow. I've no problem with the fact that he sees things bigger than I do, which is fine. And I will support him with all of my energy, with all of my enthusiasm, with all of my love. I guess that's a very important part of my answer to your question.
Yeah. Wow. Well, how fulfilling to be able to take your son through the Kinder Institute's training programs together, but also help to support him growing the business and seeing through his own vision. That's just incredible. Well, Jos, this has been such a pleasure. And our favorite last question, I'm sure you know it, is anything else? What would you like to add?
Actually, I was, in one way, you could say that the Kinder Institute's methodology, George's methodology, deserves a far more spreading of the way of working than is happening at this moment. The path at which it's just too slow. I guess it's different. It's difficult. Excuse me. I guess it's difficult to get in touch with everybody who would be a good RLP, but getting the message out there and having as many RLPs as possible in place, really helping clients. That's I'll be doing my part in bringing in my son already, but I guess that at a certain moment we just might bring in from our team some people, you know. I'm an addict, let's put it this way. I'm not telling my clients I'm going to do the kinder methodology stuff on you now. No. My kind of financial coaching just is this way. This is how we do it. This is what we do. And follow me. So I think that's that's what I would like to say to that.
Yeah, so it works. You've proven it works over many, many years, and we need more registered life planners in the world.
Absolutely.